Welcome back to our minute-to-minute analysis of Matrix Revolutions. Last time, Neo's consciousness was trapped in Mobile Ave, a place controlled by the Train Man. Trinity, Morpheus, and Seraph were sent to rescue Neo, but they failed. Now they have to make a deal with the Train Man's boss, the Merovingian, for Neo. The Merovingian suspected their visit. He knows why they are here. He is confident and believes he is in control of the situation, but he's about to receive a surprise. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
The Merovingian is thrilled to see Seraph and the others.
Quelle bonne surprise, n'est-ce pas?
This phrase translates to, "What a fine surprise, isn't it?" Remember that just a few hours ago, the Merovingian was having lunch at Lavre with Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus trying to negotiate the Keymaker's release. And here they are again, now negotiating for Neo's release.
Who could have guessed we would all be seeing each other so soon after our last meeting?
Persephone is alive and well, sitting next to her husband. Odd, since she recently betrayed him by helping Neo and the others to free the Keymaker.
And since you, my little Judas, have brought them here, I can only surmise that the fortune teller has found herself another shell. Disappointing, but not unexpected. I do hope, however, she has the good manners to learn her lesson, and to remember that there is no action without consequence. And if you take something from me, you will pay the price.
There are many important things to highlight from this piece of dialogue. The first is that the Merovingian calls Seraph Judas. A long time ago, Seraph and the Merovingian were part of the same group. Both could have inhabited the same version of the Matrix, the Paradise Matrix. It is believed that the Merovingian was an operating system, while Seraph was an agent of that version of the simulation. But eventually, they became obsolete. The Frenchman found a way to avoid deletion and so became the go-to program for any Matrix program that wants to leave Machine City or avoid deletion. Seraph was possibly one of the first programs that Merv helped, one of the first exiles. That is until he switched sides and went to work for the Merovingian's rival, the Oracle. We can only theorize as to what began this rivalry between the Oracle and the Merovingian. But what is clear is that both programs propose different philosophies, the Oracle believing in choice and the Merovingian believing in causality. We believe that the Oracle made the Merovingian obsolete when she convinced the architect to add choice to the equation. Perhaps in the beta versions of the Matrix, the Merovingian was in charge of simulating cause and effect, but the Oracle took his place. The Merovingian knows that the Oracle must have gotten another shell. Otherwise, Seraph and the others would not be there. A Matrix program can die if their shell is destroyed, just like the humans. But in the Oracle's case, she only lost part of her memory. The Oracle is still alive because she's possibly not originally from the Matrix. She is from Machine City. She's a program connected to the source and is projected in the simulation. She cannot die in the Matrix because she is not installed in the Matrix. Yet the Merovingian continues to search for a way to destroy her. He hates her. Whether it's because she made him obsolete, she took one of his exiles, or because she wishes to destroy the Matrix cycle. Some might think that the Merovingian had the Oracle destroyed because she sent Neo to get the Keymaker from him. But remember that before Neo arrived at the restaurant, Rama was negotiating with the Merovingian for Sati's passage into the simulation and offered him the termination code of the Oracle shell as payment. So when the Frenchman said that if you take something from him, you have to pay the price, he was not referring to the Keymaker. This is not the first time that the Oracle has taken something from the Merovingian, but Seraph is not interested in discussing their war. They are looking for Neo.
You know why we are here. Come now. What kind of question is this? Of course I know. It is my business to know. Some might think this is a strange coincidence, but I do not. I am curious, though, as to how it actually happened. Do you know?
No.
No? I did not think so. But it is always best to ask.
The Merovingian doesn't know how Neo was wirelessly connected to the simulation, or how he ended up in Mobile Ave. This is one ability that no other anomaly has manifested. The Frenchman is fascinated. Nobody knows why or how it happened.
We want to make a deal.
Always straight to business, Morpheus? Okay. I have something you want. To make a deal, you must have something I want. Yes? And it so happens there is something I want. Something I have wanted ever since I first came here. It is said they cannot be taken. They can only be given.
What?
The eyes of the Oracle.
Two important details were mentioned here. The first is that the Merovingian has desired these eyes from the moment he arrived, perhaps referring to the Matrix. We know that the Merovingian has survived at least 8 different simulations, 6 official simulations, the Nightmare Matrix where he met the twins, and the Paradise Matrix where he met Seraph. If he has desired the Oracle's eyes since he arrived in the Matrix, this confirms that the Oracle is older than the Beta Matrix, but also that the Merovingian was corrupted by his desire for power. But is the Merovingian referring to the eyes of the Oracle literally? What gives the Oracle the power to predict the future is intuition. The intuitive program can see beyond cause and effect. She understands human emotions, taking into account variables that neither the architect nor the Merovingian can understand. Only the Oracle has such power. And the second important thing is that the Merovingian mentions that this ability cannot be taken, it must be given by the Oracle, which is accurate. She gave the ability to Neo, and later, Smith. The Merovingian learned that the Oracle was willing to sacrifice her shell for Sati. So what the Frenchman is doing is testing to see if she was willing to sacrifice another part of herself to save Neo.
I have told you before, there is no escaping the nature of the universe. It is that nature that has again brought you to me. Where some see coincidence, I see consequence. Where others see chance, I see cost. Bring me the eyes of the Oracle, and I will give you back your savior. It seems a perfectly fair and reasonable deal to me. Yes? No?
I don't have time for this shit.
Let's stop here for a moment. In previous videos, we've talked about how the Oracle weaponized love and used it to attack the Architect's one vulnerability, his lack of understanding human emotions. Trinity is in the Merovingian's club, surrounded by dangerous programs. There is no way she is leaving here alive. Just like Neo, she is more than willing to sacrifice anybody to save him. The logical option would have been to go back to the Oracle and ask her to give her eyes to the Merovingian or take them by force. Yet Trinity chose to attack the Frenchman, an irrational decision based on her deep love for Neo. The Merovingian didn't see this coming.
You want to make a deal? How about this? You give me Neo, or we all die right here, right now.
Interesting deal. You are really ready to die for this man.
The Frenchman is foreshadowing what will happen near the end of the film. We'll get to that when it happens. He is also trying to let Trinity know of the precarious situation she is in. It doesn't make sense for all of them to die, because that won't help Neo. The Merovingian cannot understand this level of irrationality.
Believe it.
She'll do it. If she has to, she'll kill every one of us. She's in love.
It is remarkable how similar the pattern of love is to the pattern of insanity.
Time's up. What's it gonna be, Merv?
This final interaction demonstrates that Persephone has a better understanding of what love is and the irrationality behind it, how Trinity can sacrifice everything for Neo, and the real danger that the Frenchmen and the exiles are in. the Merovingian has lost control of the situation. Even part of what the Merovingian tells Trinity sounds familiar to something that the architect told Neo.
Already I can see the chain reaction. The chemical precursors that signal the onset of an emotion, designed specifically to overwhelm logic and reason.
The Oracle sent Seraph, Trinity, and Morpheus to save Neo. She knew that Trinity's irrationality, caused by her love for Neo, would work against the Merovingian. Again, the fortune teller is taking advantage of her enemy's weak point. Next time, Trinity and Neo's reunion. For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.